Y'all ready to ride? Y'all ready to ride?
Ever wonder what therapists talk about after work? Well, the answer might surprise you. We talk about the same things you guys talk about, from WAP to woke, from love to friendships. Welcome to The Tea. I'm your host, Dr. Chris Snyder, and here with me is my co-host and colleague, Kenise Eaton. We are the therapists at Minds Empowered Counseling in Chicago, but once a week we kick back and we vent, and we want you guys to join us. So go grab a glass of your favorite drink, make sure it's a little strong, and come and rock with us for the next hour.
Y'all ready to ride?
Hi, people. Good evening, and welcome to episode 3, season 2. We're episode 4.
Yep,
Goodness, it's moving fast.
It is. This train is moving.
Okay, well, episode 4 of The Tea. I'm Chris.
I'm Kenise.
Today we are talking mommy issues. Dion, you don't even gotta do me like that. Anyway, so Kenise, kind of kick us off because this was something you definitely wanted us to talk about. We didn't get to it last season. It kind of carried over into this season. So kind of bring us into kind of some of the things you was thinking. We got definitely a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. And a lot of times when you hear mommy issues, often you're thinking, dude got mommy issues. And that's why we can't function in this relationship. That's why he has communication problems, because his mama did something to him. And we see it all the time on Facebook. Dude, who hurt you? What your mama do to you?
Yeah.
Well,
It'd be them. It'd be the girls too.
Yeah, ladies, we have mommy issues as well.
Yeah.
And there's things that our mothers have done to us that we are doing to our children, and reasons why we are the way that we are in relationships. So we gonna kind of just like jump in and talk to our punk asses, because we definitely
we talk about the
issues.
Men all day too.
Yeah.
So
this one is kind of like girl issue, boo. This one is all you.
Have we been doing a lot of girls though?
Yeah, all season we've started off the season trying to get the women
We've been
together.
with the girls. We've been with the girls. We've been with the girls. So one thing that I noticed, and I'll speak for me as a mom, because a question that came up was, do mothers nurture their sons but raise daughters?
Yeah. And even when I hear that question, what I hear is, are we harder on our daughters? But then son, it's okay, baby.
Yeah.
Like, no, baby, you don't have to do that. We baby our boys, but yet them girls, we ready to punch her in the eye if she do the same thing. I believe it's true. Now you have both genders.
I do. I just
have one kid. I have a daughter.
I got girls and boys, and so I would have to say though, my girls were easy. Like if y'all know my girls. Like I don't know. Like I think I might be in a difficult position to answer that. I do think, however, my girls would say to my son, which he my favorite.
Yeah, she admits it, people.
My son is my favorite. Let me be clear.
She admits it, people.
We have favorites. Don't lie and act like you don't got no favorite.
Well, I only have one.
We only got
she's
one.
My favorite.
My son's my favorite, and he does get more
coddling.
He gets more. He's my baby boy.
Okay.
So for sure, and I hear my friend James or hell, my son Dad, anyone to say leave that, let that boy. Oh, my cousin Michael, he'll be like, give me him. Like you doing too much little mama stuff. Like he needs to get punched in his chest. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna cry. So my girls, but I do think I'm still hard on my son because I feel like he got to be a black man one day, and this world is super hard on black men. So in my mind, I need to prepare him for how bad it's going to get.
Okay.
So, but for sure, he has had probably, but I'm also 3 kids in. So, you kind of lessen the reins as you
go along.
Go along. It's kind of like the first one, you kind of like, oh, no. And then it's like, okay, a little bit, like, I don't even care. Like, whatever. Whatever, make it work.
Now, if I think about like my relatives, my nieces, my nephews, or even my clients, and if I'm honest with myself, I will say that I'm harder on girls than I am boys. I give girls a little bit more. And I feel like that's because I don't know what it's like to be a man. So I can't give him the tools that he needs to become a man. I can give him the tools that he needs to become a gentleman, but not a man. So when it comes down to a girl, I can definitely give her the tools that she needs to become a woman. So my expectations for her are going to be a little different, a little higher.
Really?
And I can admit that I like the girls better. I can relate. I'm more likely to grab my nieces, but them boys, I just look at them like, what I'm supposed to do with it? I fed it, like it's still looking at me.
Okay, I get it. So why do you think, considering, because straight women want a man and they know what they want him to be like, and we often, as adult women, are quick to say, his punk ass got mommy issues. Why wouldn't we then just do the opposite of what we think is happening?
Now, see, and even with that, because that kind of, in my opinion, borders along the lines of where we tell our sons that he's our king. And that he's now the man of the house if there isn't a man there. I don't do that foolishness. And I'm not even going to try to make my son, my brothers, my nephews, I'm not going to try to make them out to be the man that I wish I had. No. I'm for who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to feed into them the things that they need to be who they are. If that makes sense. Am I making sense to the people?
I mean, I hear you. And no, my son is not my king, or I don't even know another word. Like, he's Alex. Little boy, I'll beat your man, get it together. Why? But I'm also, he gets like all my love. Like he my favorite. Like he my baby boy.
Yeah, because I think that the part that we're referencing as women dating a man that has these so-called mommy issues, I think the part that we're referencing is his lack of emotion. So
because his mama wasn't good to him,
right? So if the mom is nurturing the boy, well, sometimes we can do a little too much in terms of nurturing, and now he extra sensitive and want to cry a lot and be a fake beta. So it's it's a balance that has to exist.
I can see that. So how about moms who are, and it's funny because I think this is the example that I think had women end up in competition, but do you think about moms who are in competition with their daughters?
Oh, absolutely. If I'm honest, and I do some self-disclosure, I feel like the reason that my mother and I really didn't see eye to eye is because as I got older, I was the woman that she wished that she was. So there would be a lot of things that I would do that she would go tell people that she did.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So like even in terms of, I ran track all throughout high school, all throughout college. I've gotten multiple awards. She wanted to wear my awards. Like they were hers.
Wear them?
Yes. Like when I would get my medals and she would come and see them, she would want to wear them and show them off like they were hers. And other accomplishments that I did, she would always say, well, you ain't the only one, but I'm your child. And I'm your first child to accomplish these things. It's not about me and you. I'm your child.
That's interesting.
Very much so.
Where do you think that came from? Because it definitely ain't your grandmother.
Well, the grandma that you always hear me speak of is my father's mother. So I never got the opportunity to meet my mother's mother. She died before I was born. But there was a lack of respect that existed between my mother's my mother and her mother.
Okay.
Apparently, my grandmother put down her dreams and aspirations to appease her stepfather, my mom's stepfather. So as a result of that, my mother never respected her own mother. And my mother had a habit of projecting that out onto her children. Since she didn't respect her mother, she felt like we didn't respect her as a mom.
So do you, because you don't compete with women, or you can be my friend?
Nah.
Like I don't, my friends don't know, they know better. So do you think it's because of your mom?
What do you mean? That I don't compete with women?
Because it's a staple trait in women is to compete.
Now, see, for me, if I'm speaking about me specifically, I had wonderful examples of what not to do and wonderful examples of what to do. So the parts that my mom showed me, I was able to see the polar opposite of that in my father's side of the family. So from my grandmother that you hear me speak of, from my my aunts, they were able to show me that just because her light is shining doesn't mean that you have to turn yours off. It doesn't even mean that you have to try to turn your light bulb up higher so that yours can outshine hers. Her light shining has absolutely nothing to do with yours. So I was able to grasp that from that side of the family.
And you think the women they can't is because of something with their own mom?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you aren't able to have that balance, what saved me is that I had the balance. So I was able to see, because a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, that's all I know. I did this because that's all I know. I was fortunate to know something different and to see something different.
You know, it's funny. I think about my oldest, and something she likes to say is she's gonna get more degrees than me.
Okay.
That's a thing for her.
Okay.
She crazy, and I don't want to pay for it. That's all I know. I just want to be out. I just want to know when she gonna let me out. But I felt like it was somehow I didn't breed that competition. She bred it.
Yeah.
And it's that natural to me. It was a natural thing for her to go, my mom has accomplished these things. Well, it's only natural. I have to as well. And I'm quick to say, girl, sit down. Like, you good. Like, be you, whatever you looks like. And even middle child, to some degree, thinks there is a competition with her sister in terms of how fast she finishes school, how quickly she knows her major, how, like, what she does. Like, there is and I'm constantly saying to them, like, why are y'all, like, you're you and you're you, like, both of y'all. So I mean, it's important they both went to great undergrads, which they did, and even my oldest talks to middle child often about, like, well, are you thinking about grad school? My baby's a freshman. Leave my child alone.
Right, like, let her get to her first freshman 15 first.
Leave my baby alone. So it is a lot of, and I find myself as a mom really trying to keep them to stop doing that so they don't compare then, because if y'all comparing with each other, you gotta be comparing with other women, and I don't like it. Like, don't do it. Like, be you, whatever you is. Like, manage you and your talents amongst yourself. Am I being a better version of me today?
Okay.
The end.
Now, do you think your oldest is competing with the youngest?
With my boy, or with
no
with the middle?
With Nina. Do you think the oldest is competing with the middle? Yeah,
because I hear from them often about what I do for the other.
Well, that's that sibling.
That's sibling. Yeah, they get on my nerves.
They trying to fight to be your favorite girl, because they already know that Alex is the
Alex
favorite,
is it.
period.
At that point, you might as well stop. And I tell them, Alex is it.
Because I think as long as the competition, and I want to be careful with calling it a competition from the bottom up. Because when you have a role model or somebody that you look up to, you have a tendency to pattern yourself after that person. You like the life that they're living. So since you like it and you see you see what they did to get those things, then you begin to go down that path.
For sure.
my aunt. I wrote my aunt this letter one day. And in the letter, I told her, I hope to follow down your footsteps. Everything, like, this woman is the reason why I have the confidence, the air that I have about myself. And I told her in this letter that I wanted to follow down her footsteps.
Yeah.
And she corrected me, and she took me out for lunch, and she corrected me, and she said, you can follow down my path, but leave your own footsteps.
For sure.
And I said, well,
I'll be damned.
I like it, because then that was her way of saying you absolutely can be like me. You can't be me. You can be like me, but leave your own mark. And I was like, oh, I like that, dear. Okay, I'll keep that little nugget tucked away.
I do. I it's funny because I'm thinking about, we've had James here a couple of times, and he will swear that women have to compete, like everything is a competition, and on some level I keep trying to like ride the wave with him and like make that make sense for me. And he says it in relation to, even if we're looking our best, because you ever think about how women dress for other women?
I guess I'm not
competition.
That type of woman.
But it would be natural. It is in some way an assessment of, women assess the room when they walk in it. That's competition. It is. Here we go again. We about to agree or disagree, y'all. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Here it comes. I'm waiting. Say it.
Even like your hair, I absolutely love your hair.
And I told you to get it. I'm like, and I even sent you a short haircut. I'm like, my God, we be twinsies.
But then it was like, and I said to you, if your stylist don't do it, I'm getting
gone.
it.
I'm gone.
But then once your stylist came in and was like, okay, I'll go ahead, I'll do it. It was like, no, let Chris have that.
But I think you would, you'd be so pretty and perfect.
And you see how this conversation is happening now? It's like, no, that's your lane, you ride it. And you like, no, come on, come with me.
Because I don't.
Where's the competition?
Again, my friends don't, because I don't. But in a natural, I don't know you. Okay. It might be a hesitation.
Even like if I walk in the room and I'm like, I can acknowledge that there are other beautiful women.
For sure. I do it all the time.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean anything for me or my self-esteem. It's just like, this is the baddies day. Okay. We here today. Like,
agreed. How I would respond.
If I feel like I'm the cutest one in the room, it's just like, oh, okay. She don't have no friends. Like, I may say something like that, but that's if she's poorly dressed. Like if she got stuff hanging out of stuff in areas.
I mean, I also recognize I have a circle of excellence. And so to be in it, you probably wouldn't have to be able to have this concept you're saying. So most women don't.
Yeah, such is true. Such is true.
So this is not the common to go. It's more like, oh, I had that dress last season. Or don't let two women in the same room have on the same dress. Oh, that's bad.
See, I take pictures with her.
Oh, that's bad. I would too. Here we go. I can say for both of my girls in high school, I never allowed them to tell their friends
what they were wearing.
For
prom and all that.
Nothing. Don't you say nothing. You can send them the most ugliest thing you got, because in my mind, it's a competition.
Okay.
Come on now. You got it. It is. Like, don't you say nothing. Like,
and see, I'm an
real
athlete.
bad boys move in silence. Like, don't you say nothing.
I'm an athlete, so my competition was always the clock. It's no competition on this field. My competition is the clock.
To this day, don't let nobody see your dress. Don't you say, hell, okay. If somebody even asks me, because I get asked, and I need to just get rid of them, because I got to think about not wearing the same thing a lot of times. But if you ask me where my dress came from, I'm likely to say I don't know.
Oh no, I'm telling you.
I'm
gonna tell you where I got it from and how much I paid for it, and if I used the coupon because they had a sale.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you.
And a no.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you.
Nope. I likely don't know either, but no. I normally likely don't know because I have so many dresses. I buy them at any season and just hang them in the closet and know one day I'm gonna wear it. So I likely normally don't know where it came from. But if the slim chance I do, I likely won't tell you.
Really?
Figure it, go buy your own. Why are you trying to have mine? Get your own.
No,
you can't have mine. Because in my mind, I'm thinking it's the. Then again, a lot of people do compete with me. Like I see it. Like I actively watch things happen that are directly to create a competition, and it's quite weird to me. Okay. And I don't like it, and I don't want us to compete. Can we not compete? Stop it. So go be like, no. I see it. Oh Lord, I see it so much. It's crazy to me. Like I'll do a thing and I'll see somebody as I was talking about it with a group of people, in a Facebook group. If any of them are like listening to this, they know I'm talking to them. And we all noticed, like I was doing certain things, and literally everything I did, I watched another girl do. Like we all watched her because we was all Facebook. Like literally, if I made a post and said I love my daughter, she gonna make a post. I love my daughter. If I take a picture in my skates, she likely the next day got a picture in her skates too. It started getting like to where I'm like, do I ask? Like, because in my mind, like, girl, go be great. Like, you are an awesome woman. I'm watching you. I see you. Like, you're awesome. Stop. You don't need to, like, nothing over here. Like, this.
What's that phrase? Imitation is the highest
I don't
form
like
of flattery.
it. It's not to me. If Yoli listening, her and I, I had noticed something, and I had literally almost want to tag her in it. But I had noticed something that I felt like was a direct imitation of me. And I'm like, again, you are awesome as you are. Why do you appear to look like me?
Oh, fancy.
Don't imitate. Be you. Like, go be great all by yourself. I don't like competition. I think women should be great all on their own 2 feet.
And I don't think I pay attention enough to.
You probably don't.
To even realize.
You be so
like,
unbothered.
I tell people, like, if I had a hater, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, because what people remind me of, I see them.
Yeah, it comes back to me.
It come back.
But, you know, if you don't have the balls to say the shit to my face.
That part.
Whatever.
That part. I prefer you actually sit around. Like, come get a front row seat because I'm going to give you a show.
Right. Come holler at me.
Come.
Right. Otherwise, I'm going to just let you watch me. I'm going to perform.
I'm going to give you a show, like, real fast. I can't help myself. So, do you, and, you know, another idea around, like, mommy issues would be, like, women who are toxic.
Yeah. Do you have a toxic trait as a mom?
Give me some ideas.
I would say, as a mother, my toxic trait is, I think I have a tendency to make my daughter feel like she's stupid. Her common sense ain't that, people. Like, it's like, my common sense ain't there either. I
almost want to text the kids and ask them
that my common sense is not common. But this baby's common sense, Lord Jesus. And sometimes I just look at her because I've noticed that I think I make her feel like she's stupid sometimes. But her, like, and I've even said to people, like, stupidity has to be the onset of puberty. I don't know what happened to my daughter. Like, she was on point. She had it together. Like, my expectations was, because the girl was good. And then it was like one day she didn't realize that putting water on the floor makes the floor wet. And she's like, the floor is not wet, the water is. Nigga. What? What? You can't believe that. And she really did not grasp the concept of putting water on the floor will make the floor wet. She was like, no, it's just the water that's wet.
I am super emotional.
Okay.
More so sensitive.
Okay.
I don't know. Which one? I'm
both.
I'm both.
It's both.
I'm both. So I think I give my girls my emotions for sure. Okay. I think I might I could be needy.
Okay.
I think they might say that.
So you think they might say that you make them responsible for
my emotional state.
Okay.
I think so sometimes,
Okay.
because I'd be like, I don't know if I'm saying, like, I say they my broke BFFs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll call my broke BFF and they'd be like, but I'm in class. I'd be like, well, you good, you smart. Step out for a minute and talk to
Really?
Well, they text me all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I be getting them back.
Okay. Do you emotionally blackmail them?
No.
Okay.
No. I do try to hold a good amount in, but I'm also super open and I'm very expressive with them.
Okay.
So they kind of know where I am at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And I text them too to ask them. I'm waiting on them to respond of all the times for them to be talking to me. Now they don't want to not talk. But I think if anything, I do have them bear a few extra and I'm sensitive, like, so we might be joking and all of a sudden, because I'm sensitive, well, now my feelings hurt and I don't want to talk no more. And then they got to be like, mommy, we was just playing. And I'm like, I don't want to talk no more. So, but then I'll bring it back and be like, okay, my bad, I'm good. Like, okay, y'all.
Okay. So what about from your mom to you? What toxic trait do you think your mom had?
Here we go, y'all.
Oh.
Y'all know my stories about my mama. So my mom was just unavailable. Okay. So I don't even know the end.
Like, my mom was unavailable as well.
Mama, I mean, she was legitimately emotionally unavailable, which is why I think I'm too emotional with the girls. Okay. I think in a lot of ways, and I am very clear, a lot of the ways that I parent is to be the exact opposite of my mother. Huh. And and it was kind of late when I learned, okay, Chris, this other extreme ain't no good either.
Yep, that's what I said, huh? Uh-huh.
I got it on a while ago, but still, it definitely was a moment where I was overindulgent. Okay. And because I got nothing, like, please, nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give my kids the most. My mom shared nothing. I don't think she talked to me half of the time. And we gonna talk all day, every day. Like, we gonna talk feelings, and we gonna, again, therapist.
So are you the mother that you wish you had?
I am now.
Okay.
For sure. Because at one point, again, I think I was too much. I think it was just too much. And they was like, what the hell? Like, this woman is crazy. But I backtracked definitely a while ago. Easily a decade ago, and was like, okay, Chris, it's a balance. Like, you gotta, like, find a middle here. Mm-hmm. And I do think I am a phenomenal mom now.
You are.
Thank you. Now, but then again, I do say me as a mom is probably the best thing I know how to do. Okay. Like, it is the one thing I can kind of, if everything is going to shit, everything, I know me as a mom is like, oh, okay, I got, like, this one thing. I don't care what life throw at me. This one thing right here, I got it. If I don't got nothing else, I can be a mom.
I am not the mother that I want to be.
Really?
No.
Oh, you and Trin are everything.
The mother that I want to be is not the mother that Trinity needs.
Oh.
So I have to adjust to be the mother that she needs. And I think that's the toxic trait that runs in my family. My mother was the mother that she wished she had, which wasn't the mother that her children needed. My sister was the type of mother that she wished she had, which wasn't the type of mother that her children needed. And for both, for my mother and my sister, both sets of children told their mothers, but we don't want that. We want this. And neither one of them listened. Instead, they both forced upon their children the type of mothers that they wish they had. So with me watching that, my sister is 12 years older than I am. So her children and I pretty much are damn near the same ages. Me watching that, I was able to see that that's a mistake I don't want to make with my daughter. So I'm not the mother that I want to be. I'm the mother that my daughter needs.
But I think we get there because my mother, I mean, hell, my mama say she sucked. Like, she just sucked. She's a phenomenal mom. Like, I adore my mother now. Like, it took me for years, don't have me find a Mother's Day card. I'm standing in the Walgreens for 4 hours. And I walk out with no cards. Like, nope, that's not her. Hell no, that ain't her. And that ain't her. Yeah, none of these. I'm just going to leave and write something. Like, me, this ain't it. But at this point, I can walk in Walgreens and get 10 Mother's Day cards for her. Because she is such a good, like, she done got it together. And, you know, got clean and all that good stuff. And so it's kind of like, I got a mother again. And she's great. So I think we become like,
as time goes,
it's time. I mean, again, I at one point was too much for the girls and had to backtrack and go, whoa, pause. Like, you tripping, girl. Like, this is like, there are no boundaries. Hell, to this day, I can't, if I have mail in the house, Kiara opens it. And I'd be like, and even just yesterday, I said, baby, do I ever get to open my mail? I'm just curious. And she was like, for why?
Trinity pulled that with me. And I was like, that's a federal offense. Like, you can go to jail.
They don't, there's no.
Right, and she still went to go get the scissors. I want to know what's in it. Nothing for you.
It doesn't matter. Like, I come home and Nina be like, I put some stuff in the pile, the junk pile is here, Ma. The stuff you might want to read is here. I would have liked to have opened it. So our boundaries are for sure a little interesting because we are, like, they are my broke BFFs for real. Like, if y'all know me and my girl, like, them my buddies. But I do think they have enough respect to view me as mom. I just am also they BFF. Like, I'm on a FaceTime with Kyla and I see my shirt.
On her body?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's...
Did you know that's where it was?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, they steal all my clothes. They are still all my clothes. Oh, here we go. So my oldest said, because I asked her what was my toxic trait to them. They said my selection in the past of men.
Oh, bless Jesus. Okay. Okay.
Agreed.
Which translates into relationships.
Yep.
Because one of the reasons why I am the way that I am in relationships is because of my mother.
Yeah. Agreed. Mine too.
My mom was very much like a gold digger. Like, you look up gold digger and she's there in her glamour pose. Like, she's there posted. I watched my mother tell my sister, keep your hands in a man's pockets. And while you in there, get a little bit for your mama too. And my sister had a boyfriend that I absolutely adored. Like, to this day, and I was like 8. To this day, he is still my image of an ideal man. And he would always tell her, you keep listening to your mama, you're going to be without a man. Your mama going to ruin your relationship. Your mama. And then sure enough, when he walked away from her, it was because my sister kept listening to my mom.
Wow.
So that's why it's so hard for me to take money from a man. Like, I had a man threaten to give me more money to take the money that he left for me.
Wow.
Like, that was the only way I would take it. He was like, if it's there another day, I'm going to keep adding 50s. God damn it. I actually told this dude, you got to go 30 days without spending money on me. So if his love language is gifts.
Clearly, I'm going to say that's his love language.
And he was the guy that taught me about love languages. And he also taught me that I was a hypocrite because I would force him to accept my love language. And then he told me that I was rejecting his.
Right. You have to let them love you as they
So it makes me nervous now. So if a man gets to doing anything, if I've sent back gifts because I thought they were too expensive, and
I'm not giving nothing back. Now, I'm not asking you for anything, but I'm not giving it back either.
Once I get to doing this and rocking, I'm nervous.
I ain't giving nothing back. Now I don't ask. I'm not an asker.
Like, he forced me to go shopping.
Oh yeah, I want you to know what I want. I don't want to ask you.
No, the clerks in the store was just like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "It's too much." And she was like, "Let him do something nice for you. Come here, let me put this necklace on you."
Yeah, well, my mom just again, my mama was a lot happening. just the bad. I also didn't have men around me.
Okay.
Growing up, the man that was around who quote unquote raised me enabled my mom on levels that made no sense.
Okay.
He was a good man. But even as I say good man and enable in the same sentence, clearly there's a disconnect there.
Right.
So I didn't have a lot of examples. And I watched my mom, who, again, no one raised me. So I didn't have someone saying to me, this is what you should look for. Okay. These are things that matter. These are this, and this. I was a lot of trial and error. Okay. And trying to figure out on my own on what was good for me, or what I liked or what I didn't like, or what mattered or what were values, or how a man should. I was in a house of women. Like I had my granny, my mom, my sisters, the end. So I didn't have, and then I had my cousins who was also women. So I really did not have, there were not many men around. So I definitely had a trial and error and then kind of got over them.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And here we are.
Right. Here we are.
And here we are. So, yeah, I definitely thought I don't know. Yeah, I had to figure it out. And fairly, and my girls, this is where I feel like the emotional stuff, like relationships would fail. And I would be like, I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. Like, this is like, I want y'all to have a good, like a 2-parent thing, but I'm not doing this thing well. Like, this sucks. And we do. I talk to my girls about, like, I ain't doing this thing well. I quit.
and I think that's something that's valuable, because now they get to learn from your mistakes.
For sure.
And your honesty. Whereas
and we openly talk about that.
Yeah, the only thing that I can remember about my mom dating is that she would say if we didn't like the dude, then she wouldn't stay with him. Well, let me take that back. It wasn't we, it was me. My sister is 12 years older. My brother is 10 years older, but I was her favorite child. I'm the one she planned for. Holding the condom. Hey, y'all. I'm the one that she planned for, that she wanted, all of that jazz. So she based a lot of things off of my opinions. So if I didn't like the dude, she wouldn't stay in a relationship with him. So I guess I got that part from her, and I definitely have from her. Her and my dad, their relationship wasn't a good one. Yeah, my birth actually stopped their relationship. Like, oh damn! When I came home from the hospital, he was like, "Here you go," and he threw me on the couch, and he was like, "I'm out. This is it." But even in their discord, I still gravitated more to my father than I did my mom. And as awful as my father was to my mother, and some of the things that I've said to my mom as a child were completely horrible. And I was very clear that my preference was him as a child. Even in all of the horrible things that I said to her about her and how horrible my father was to her, not once did she ever say anything bad about my father. She allowed me to see my father for the man that he was. And she was very adamant about, just because he was this way with me, his girl, doesn't mean he's going to be this way with his kid, his daughter. So I also carried that with me as well. And that's one of the reasons why, like, as much as my daughter's other parent makes my ass itch, like you can see the tension in my fingers, that has nothing to do with her relationship with her father. So
I got some more information about my toxic traits.
Okay. What the other one say?
I was told I ruined their perspective on breakfast. Apparently, cookies and ice cream isn't normal.
So they got to eat cookies and ice cream for breakfast?
Hell yeah, we eat cookies and ice cream. Y'all know I'm fat ass. Let's not get it twisted, people. I work out so I can eat. Y'all all... What is the problem?
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely, it's a meal. I go to a restaurant and order dessert first. I would gladly do it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's part of the thing.
But not first thing
Why
in
not?
The morning. Because it gives you the bubbly.
Not always.
Yeah, it gives you the bubbly.
Other one said that I am very honest, but I overshare a little, and I scare them by giving them too much information.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you before somebody else tell you.
Yeah, I'm your first teacher.
I'm your first. Look, you're going to get it from me.
You before the streets tell it to you.
You're going to hear it here. You're going to hear it the hard way, the brutal way. And then when you hear it the next time, it's like, oh, I'm prepped. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. So those were there.
Okay.
Those were my very I told y'all what they said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said that.
I said
that before they said it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm on board. I guess I'm. Mm-hmm. It could be worse.
So, and even like in if we go back to the relationship piece of it, we have to be careful of the things that we're carrying into relationships.
For sure.
And even just being aware of where the stuff is coming from. So like once that dude was able to put into my face, like I'm rejecting his love language, I was able to connect it back. He was like, why are you doing this? And I was able to explain it to him. So he was able to understand and just kind of like help me to see that he understands my intentions. So he knows that my intentions is not to just use him for his money.
Oh, for sure.
So we were able to have a conversation about it, and he was like, I'm not going 30 days without spending money on you. Like, that's just not going to happen. I'm going to be who I am, and you're going to be okay with it. And he was like, if you need to sit on your fucking hands, just sit on your hands. So when we would go out, and once I would start rocking you, okay?
So let's do the opposite though.
Okay.
Let's talk about daughters who are their mom's BFF.
Well, see, okay. I see this two ways.
Okay.
I see it two ways. Because Trinity, my baby, is adamant that I'm her friend. And when she was 2 years old, she asked me if I was her friend. And I said, no, I'll never be your friend. I don't need a friend that's 28 years younger than I am. And her dad was like, nigga, she too. Like, you can't, she too. You can't be her friend? Like, she just want to be your friend? No, I'll never be your friend. And even, was it last month? I think it might have been last month. She was like, Mommy, you're my friend. And I changed it. And I was like, no, I'm your mom. I'll never be your friend. I'm better than a friend. And she was like, you still my friend. So she still wasn't having it. And so I had to take a step back and realize that in her mind, I'm her friend.
I'm gonna say Nina tell me I'm her bestie. She calls me the bestie.
And but that does not mean that she's my friend. So I had to take that step back. Like, okay, from her perspective, one way, I'm her friend.
Yeah, because I got to hear all about all the things that I do not at all care about. She like, I gotta give you the tea. I'm like, gee, I don't care about 18-year-old tea. And she'd be like, but you my bestie. Damn it. Okay, let's go.
And I think that can be a good thing because you want your children to be open with you. And like we said, if I'm gonna be your first teacher and you're gonna get it from me, I want you to get it from the streets.
And if we're not friends, you won't talk to me.
Exactly.
Like I want to know about sex. I want
friendly.
I would. See, I would say it. This is where we about to. I would say my girls, my broke BFFs, they are my friends. Friend is in there. But they know I have the respect of mom. Hell, they call me mommy. Like, both of them, my 23-year-old. Like, I still have the respect. They still will ask me. They still, again, y'all know they do the things I need them to do. Yeah. And also talk to me like, my daughter might be really mad when I say this out loud, but I'm a share. So she is dating this guy. And I kind of like him. I really hope
he make it.
I hope this will make it. Okay, but so she's dating this guy, and she went to go visit him, for this week, and so I don't know how the conversation happened, and I said something like, "Oh, okay, you going to like get your rocks off or something for the week?" I said something like that because my mouth is vulgar. And she was like, no, I started my period. She was like, I'm like, well, you could still, because it's where I probably give too much information. I'm like, well, technically, if your stomach don't hurt too bad, and depending on how heavy your period is, you can still kind of get it in if you wanted to. Like, it happens. Like, men, you got to find out, is that something he's willing to do? Because if it is, and if it's something you're open to, well, you lay a towel down and y'all can get it in, because that's what some people are willing to do. And she was like, and then we proceeded to hold an entire conversation about this whole thing. Very easily, very as if we were friends. Okay. And she could talk to me in that way, and it literally flowed. It wasn't oh my God, I'm talking to my mother. But I've, in my mind, created the platform
for that openness,
for us to be able to talk. And because I'm just information. It's my job. My job is to put it on the table and go, here are some perspectives, here are some ideas, here are the dangers. You are also big enough to make your own decision as an adult.
Right.
But this is what I'm thinking. You do what you want from there. So I don't know. I've always felt like my friendship with them is actually when I would hear people's stories about their teenage girls, I would leave like, oh, I should leave the room because I don't got nothing. Like, Chris, I don't have a story. My girls I've never touched them. Like, I've never grounded my kids.
Oh, really?
The girls have never had a punishment.
Oh, girl, I would take that tablet and that phone.
Not one time. And I
see,
do.
That's because my daughter common sense ain't got y'all this common sense on this baby.
Yeah, I've never.
Help me, Jesus.
And I'm convinced to stop friendship. So maybe be a friend. That might.
But being a friend ain't gonna wipe away stupidity though. Like, this baby, like, it's like.
But I have to wonder though, in the bad way of being the bestie, is when what I see is when women then get a mate and still think they supposed to tell their mama everything.
Okay. And
then I think that's where it's like, ooh, girl, you told your mama? Like, about what your husband did? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because boundary, not a boundary happens.
The angle that you were coming from, that was an educational standpoint.
For sure.
Like, here's, clearly you don't have all the information. So let me get you all the information, and then what you do with the information I give you is what you do with it. Right. That's different. I don't feel like you was encouraging her, girl, you should just do it. Like, this how you do. I don't think it was that. I think it was like, you're missing something. Let me give you this so that you know
got
what
a full
all
picture.
You can do. Yeah. So I think that's a little bit different. My other struggle is the name calling, and that's the reason why I really didn't have a good relationship with my mother. She didn't name call me. But with my sister being 12 years older than I was, my sister was every bitch, hoe, slut in the book. And when my mom wasn't available, my sister
said you called Trent stupid. That's the name calling.
I didn't call her that. I don't call her stupid to her face, though. I don't say it to her face. Now, I have asked her, like, I have said to her, if you're stupid, let me know, and I'll lower my expectations.
That's the same thing. That's name calling.
Okay.
Are you a bitch?
Okay, I can accept that.
Same thing.
But it's not as traumatizing as bitch, though.
Being called stupid is being called stupid.
But the things that she's like,
gee, you can't.
You didn't know that putting water on the floor was gonna make the floor wet?
The water.
What?
I actually like her saying the water is wet. I can dig it.
But so is the floor now too. Like, why are you? And she was pouring the water on the floor.
It was a science experiment.
That's what she said.
See? She's smart.
Nigga, no.
She's smart. But I'm thinking, no, because I've had couples sitting in my office, and the husband is like, every time something happened between us, she literally go over and call her mama. And tell it, I'd be like, you did what? Like, no, because that's her bestie.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
Okay, so then who would be an okay person for her to have a venting outlet for?
Nobody. Your husband.
No, he the one that pissed me off.
Everybody don't get everything.
Yeah.
Everybody don't get everything. Not everything. Everything. What there is a level of intimacy, including arguments, because that belongs strictly to those two people. There is a line somewhere where some things belong to them.
Okay. And see, I have a couple of friends.
You don't tell your mama he ain't been able to get it up lately because we've been arguing.
Yeah, no,
that's not mama's business.
We don't go that deep into
it.
Listen,
I know I've had some couples sit in my office, and because the mama and her are besties, they talk about all that.
Yeah, that right there.
See, there is a line.
That's a line.
There's a line, baby. There is a line.
Yeah, and they always say that the only people that should be in your relationship is you, your husband, and Jesus. If you believe in the Lord, if you believe in the Lord, then those should be the only things that's in your relationship.
I think there is for sure a line, and I think the women as besties to their mother, like, and if my girls, I'm like, I don't want to know. That's between you and him. Y'all got to figure that out. Like, there is going to be a point where I have to say, I can't help.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a line. You should have your person that you vent to, but there's only so much venting. Like, I don't need to know every detail. Like, just give me the general synopsis, and then if I need to connect a few more dots, then I'll ask you a few questions. Because I have a couple of married friends, and it's funny because a lot of people say married people should only talk to married people.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
But with me being single, I have a few married friends that will call me and ask me for my advice on their relationship. But it's because I have a what's the word? When you
objective?
Yes, that one.
I'm like, let me get a word.
I'm very objective, and I could just take a step back and look at it from the outside, and I have no problem with telling whomever, no, you was wrong for that. You need to go back and apologize.
For sure.
And because they call me their logical friend, and because I'm so supposedly logical, I can help them to see things that they wouldn't see on their own. But at the same time, there's a line. And even with your mama, like, your mama shouldn't.
For sure. For sure. And I've seen it. I've seen that toxicness kind of come out in moms when they're close.
Yeah.
For sure, when they're close.
How has your mother affected your self-esteem?
See, for me, my mom didn't, so I wouldn't say self-esteem, but I have some very clear, like, rejection is not my thing.
Okay.
Because I felt constantly rejected by her.
Okay.
So I am actively aware when I see me triggered.
Okay.
From that. But in terms of, like, self-esteem, I don't know.
Do you think that a lot of women with low self-esteem is because of the relationship that they had with their mothers, and maybe like the poor communication and the name calling? Oh, okay, all right, okay.
You making connections as you sit here?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, it kind of reminds me when you in season 1, when you called me out about you know who. And I was like, dang on it. I do not want to, this was not about me. So I'm kind of like, haha.
Yeah, I can accept that. Okay. I gotta have a conversation with my babe. Okay.
Oh, that's sweet. I like it. I like it. And that's why we're sitting here, for us and for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. I would say, so it's funny because I think I tend, as we disclose, I tend to be highly critical of myself in terms of beauty. We're just going to kind of leave it there, which y'all will cuss me out about
all the time.
So I am very critical of that. And I tend to think most people around me are prettier than me all the time. Like, hands down all the time. And I can say I don't remember ever in my life a time my mom said something nice about me looking nice or anything else. Like never, not once.
Huh. Do you
She does
resemble
now.
your mother?
We look just alike to me.
How does she feel about her appearance?
She's highly critical.
Yeah, and that could be why I've had to stop a couple of women, and even myself. My daughter is built exactly like I am.
Yep.
And you guys know I have issues with being the same goddamn size that I was when I was 16. Like there's pure animosity that I fit the same fucking size jeans that I did at 16, and I'm finna be fucking 40. Like I got the same fucking body. Okay,
we gonna bring it back. Yep.
But my daughter is built the same way that I am. So I have to be careful with the things that I say about my body, because with her looking up at me, I don't want her to think that I feel that same way about her body. So I have to be very careful with that. And then I also had a friend that was very self-conscious about her lips. I don't think I have big lips, but her lips were around about the size of mine. And she's very conscious about her lips. Her daughters have her lips. And I had to tell her, stop saying that. Yeah. Your babies look exactly like you. Yeah. So when you look in the mirror and you're criticizing, say, I hate this, I don't like this, I wish I could change this. Yeah. And they have your face. What do you think that's
what's happening for them? For them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we have to be careful about the things that we say about ourselves when we got these mini-me's out there looking at us and looking up to us.
And it's funny because I tell my girls that they're gorgeous inside and out, probably daily. Like I be pumping them up. I am like they mascot.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking the question about the self-esteem, because you get that originally from your household.
Yep.
You get it from your household. So if nobody's there to give it to you, and all you're hearing is being called stupid. Or
don't beat yourself up.
I'm gonna definitely work on it. My little one and I, we're definitely gonna have a conversation. She's with her dad for the weekend, but when she comes back to me, we're definitely gonna have a conversation about it and just make sure we're okay.
Yeah.
Make sure we're okay.
They're more resilient than we think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially because y'all have a very healthy relationship, despite this little thing that you're gonna talk about, which is good to talk about. You guys are extremely healthy.
Yeah, she worries me though. Lord Jesus, pray for me, y'all. But it's important to even come back and admit when you've done something wrong. A lot of times our moms would just say to us, well, you shouldn't have done it in the first goddamn place. Yeah. Like, well, if you wasn't doing it, I wouldn't have had to. That's very true. They still project that blame off onto you instead of being able to come back and say, you know what? I think I was wrong when I said that.
Yeah. Oh no, never.
There's never been a check-in.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, all the times that I watched my mom and my sister go through their thing, I can't ever recall a moment where either one of them apologized to the other. And it would be weird because a lot of times they would fight over me.
Yeah, I'll apologize quick to the girls. And I also pump them up. Like I really am like the mascot.
Yeah, that's
because if I messed up, I messed up.
That's important. And even in terms of being present, just because you're physically there, that does not make you present.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, we miss that. You know, we got a lot going on in our lives.
So go ahead, finish. Because I was gonna ask, what were the tips? What could we do? Like considering all of these things that we've talked about as we start thinking about the help. Like, okay, we identified the problem. What's the solution?
Part of the solution is finding time for yourself. Yeah. I make all of my moms identify some sort of me time. I don't care what it is. And our kids are very intrusive. They will come in the bathroom on us. Like we can't pee in peace. We can't do nothing in peace.
They will come sit. Hell, Nina calls me to come in the bathroom and hang out. I'd be like, Nina, dude, I can wait till you come out. Like, no, Ma, come on in now. Let's talk. Like, again, because I'm the bestie. So I'm supposed to like. Lord.
Some of us is sneaking in the car because we don't want to share our food, so we sitting in the car eating.
I will
Take
do.
whatever time you need to take for yourself. Take it for yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because when it's time to be present for your children, our children give no fucks about what happened at your job, how homeboy getting on your nerves.
They want what they want.
When they want their attention, they want their attention.
For sure.
Which can make you feel drained.
Yeah.
Taken advantage of even, and that might be a lot of times why we're lashing out. It's because we feel like we don't have any time for ourselves, and just shut the fuck up talking to me, get the fuck out of my face. Like you need some time for yourself. You have had no time to decompress. Whatever it is that you got going on here, address it. Address it so that you can be present for your children, and you and be aware of your own shit.
I was gonna say that was what I was gonna say. Like just reflection, like hearing this, see if any of it if it fit. You can reflect and go, no, it doesn't fit. Okay, cool, but you did the reflection and okay, good for you. Like I'm all for. It's been many times I'll hear something and go and think about it. At least I'm gonna think about it and go, yeah, no, that ain't it. It could be something, but it's not that something.
Right.
And so I do believe, and I think an evaluation of fairly your grandmother and your mother, you and your mother, and you and your kid, like a multi-generational thought process should exist for sure, and seeing like what are some of the patterns.
Generational.
I don't know if you know how to do a genogram, but a genogram would, if you can Google genogram, if you don't know what it is, but a genogram would be a great idea to not only look at who's alive and what the tree looks like, but what are the relationships? Who's conflictual? You know, where are we disengaged at? Where are we enmeshed at? Where are the boundaries blurred at? Like do it, like Google like genogram and
plug in the pieces
and connect those lines, and it tells you how to do squiggly lines, how to do lines with a circle, how to do all the lines, like, and see like, oh damn, like, oh, I see it here and here, like look at it coming down the pipeline, and how can I stop it? Right. So yeah, I do think that's probably, I mean, and other than that, just kind of like when you with your girlfriends, like talk about being a mom, like hold like, hey, is your kid doing this? Hey, this was my response. Kind of getting some feedback. We're in that Zeta Mom group. Yeah. Which I appreciate because it's always interesting to at least hear the perspective. Again, I don't have to take them in. Right. But it is very good to hear how moms would do a thing, but also hear when something is similar. Like, oh, okay, I ain't the only one with this problem. Whew, Lord, thank you.
Yeah, because sometimes that could be a relief just knowing that you are not the only one experiencing this.
For sure.
Or even getting tips. I just got the one baby. She's 11, so we don't have period yet. We're just starting
got lucky.
Blood. Right.
I can tell you some things.
I can reach into certain friend groups and like, okay, y'all, what should I expect? What do I need to prepare for?
Yeah, what's next? Yep.
I actually went into that Zeta Mommy group and I asked them what I'm preparing a mini Lady Be Ready kit for Trinity for when she does have her cycle. And I went into the group and I asked them if anybody else had prepared a little kit, what items did they put in there. And a lot of the moms had chimed in and said things that they put in there. And like my baby loves chocolate. I can't stand chocolate.
Well, when I used to have a period.
And that's what some of the
my
moms
cravings
said
for chocolate
like,
was out this world.
In there. I would have never done that. Trinity loves chocolate.
And that's when I knew too, when I knew my period was coming, it would be chocolate and my breast would be tender. Okay. Those two things. I knew. I'm like, oh, I guess that thing is about to show itself, that bitch. But I don't gotta worry about her no more. She gone now. But yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. I hope other moms take that advice and
yeah, it was a lot of people that chimed in on it, and some other people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this too."
I wonder if they got a boys kit.
Oh, what would the boys need?
I don't know. A sock?
Oh, bless Jesus. Oh, bless Jesus.
They need socks, lotion
or Vaseline. What's best to use? I don't know.
I don't know. I need to ask the man like, where we're going to Kit.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
Anyway, okay. So, what are we doing next week?
Oh, I don't think we.
I got some ideas. Let's do a poll.
Okay.
I'm gonna let our live audience from Facebook kind of help us. So we could do. Oh, I kind of want to do the top one. Okay, we're gonna do a poll for the next one. I really want us to do unconditional love.
Okay, y'all gonna see us argue on this one.
Yeah, I want to. We are. I already. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to do unconditional love and concepts around its existence or not. Yeah, I think, and then the next one, we'll let the audience kind of poll and say what we're gonna. I'll throw up some topics and kind of see what they want. But oh, here go our producer again. Okay, guys, it has been perfect being here as always with you guys. I hope you guys reflect and learn and take some of that time.
Like I did. Conversations coming soon.
Yeah. It's okay. I ask my kids they toxic stuff. It's okay to ask. Like, let them tell you. Learn from your kids. And I don't know. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Next week on Wednesday. Y'all know I have my surgery on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So we are next week Wednesday.
A day earlier.
We are a day early next week. Okay, people. Good night.
Bye.
Y'all ready to ride? Y'all ready to ride? Y'all ready to ride? Y'all ready to ride?